Welcome to Sci-Fi Stories. If you love stories of courage and mystery, make sure to subscribe and join our growing community.
The first thing Ambassador Threx noticed was not the bow. It was the silence. The human woman standing in the center of his chamber did not tremble in the desert-dry heat. She did not squint against the ultraviolet shimmer lamps designed for Xylar vision. She simply inhaled once, slow and measured. Then she bowed. Not a clumsy human nod. A precise tail-balanced sweep, hips angled to simulate counterweight, shoulders lowered beneath dominance height. Her neck tilted just enough to expose the pulse point beneath her jaw. Perfect vulnerability. Threx's throat sac expanded in startled reflex. Beside him, his mate Ceres flicked her crest in disbelief. Then the human reached behind her ear and switched off her translator. When she spoke, the ancient, layered harmonics of high Xylar court flowed into the air like polished stone rolling over crystal. "Esteemed guardians," she said softly, every tonal click exact. "I request permission to protect your bloodline." 3 days earlier, Threx had sworn he would never hire a human. They were warm-blooded, soft-skinned, distractible. His hatchlings were not. They were territorial, sharp-crested, and entering their first dominant cycles. A careless caretaker could trigger stress flares or defensive strikes. But Sol Diplomatic Station was not their homeworld. It was a nexus of species, politics, and hidden rivalries. Isolation would stunt the young. Exposure would endanger them. They needed a bridge. They had agreed to one interview. Just one. And now the human stood before them, dismantling their assumptions with surgical calm. "My qualifications," she continued, sliding a datapad across the heated obsidian table. Ceres scanned it first. Her pupils narrowed. Extensive study in Xylar thermoregulation. Juvenile crest development patterns. Psychological markers for pre-molt aggression spikes. Then came the second page. Protective detail level 5. Orbital evasive piloting. Close quarters defense certification. Counter-surveillance training. Threx blinked. "You are applying for a nursery position," he said carefully. The human allowed herself a restrained smile. "On Earth," she replied, "we do not separate care from protection." The nursery door opened with a hiss of mineralized air. Inside, 3 hatchlings clung to heated stone walls. Their scales flushed defensive crimson. Their throats rattled in warning. Predator assessment. The human did not advance. She lowered herself instead. Smaller than the eldest. Her gaze drifted to scattered toys across the floor. A scale-forged cruiser replica. A jagged warrior figurine. And near the wall, carved obsidian pieces. She recognized the pattern instantly. Without looking at the parents, she spoke in perfect court dialect. Cragstone formation. Defensive opening. The eldest hatchling paused mid-hiss. Curiosity flickered through the crimson. The human reached into her pocket and withdrew a leather pouch. The clatter of game stones hitting heated rock echoed like a challenge bell. She arranged them slowly, deliberately, and placed one piece wrong. 2 squares off. A sharp chirp split the air. The eldest dropped from the wall, landing with a confident thud. He marched forward and corrected her placement with a snap of his small jaws. Dominance asserted. The human lowered her head instantly. Submission acknowledged. The room changed. The defensive heat signatures softened from angry red to curious emerald. Within minutes, all 3 hatchlings surrounded her, clicking and rearranging stones while she exaggerated strategic mistakes just enough to let them triumph. Outside the chamber, Threx watched thermal scans stabilize. Heart rates lowered. Aggression hormones balanced. Bonding achieved. But Ceres noticed something else. As the human stood and gestured toward the play corridor, her posture shifted. Subtle. Her weight dropped to the balls of her feet. Her shoulders angled to shield the hatchlings. Her eyes scanned ventilation grates and security nodes. Playful voice. Predator awareness. protector stance. She was not simply entertaining the young. She was mapping the territory. Threx felt a ripple of realization move through his scales. Humans were not fragile. They were adaptive. The human paused near the corridor junction, positioning herself instinctively between the hatchlings and the primary access door. Her smile remained warm. Her eyes remained calculating. Ceres leaned close to Threx, voice low. "She has studied us." Threx shook his head slowly. "No," he murmured. "She has understood us." He activated the datapad. Biometric seal pressed against glass. Contract confirmed. All remaining interviews deleted. Inside the corridor, the eldest hatchling tugged at the human's sleeve, demanding another round of crackstone. She laughed softly. "Yes," she replied in flawless dialect. "But this time, I defend." The hatchlings cheered. And as they trotted deeper into the home, unaware of the subtle way she tracked every reflective surface and shadowed corner, the Xylar ambassadors understood something profound. They had hired a caretaker. But they had gained a guardian who could speak to their children in the language of play. And defend them in the language of war. In a galaxy of shifting alliances and hidden threats, that difference meant everything.